Hey people of YouTube, today we're covering the complete installation of the 44-inch Castlegate ceiling fan by Hampton Bay. This fan is designed for indoor use in small rooms. It's a dual mount fan, meaning that it can be hung from a standard flat ceiling with the included downrod, or it can be hung from a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod sold separately. The fan has an integrated LED module, so there's never any bulbs to replace, and has quick install features like a slide-on mounting bracket and a twist and lock glass shade to make installation easier. The fan does include a remote control, and that remote includes a wall cradle for convenient storage when the remote's not in use. The fan also includes 3 reversible blades, so just pick the finish that best matches your decor. Now before we get started, super important, you want to make sure that the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with your licensed electrician. And another note is if you're installing this fan where there is just a light fixture on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you're going to need to replace that before beginning. Now if you found this video, you might be stuck in your own installation and you're looking for some help, we're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan and we're going to install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on and everything in between. But if you want to fast forward through the video, use the links below and that'll take you to each individual step of the process. And when this video is done, you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe, and that'll help other people find the video as well. So as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan and we've opened up the manual to the parts page. Now we're just going to go over the parts to make sure we have everything before beginning, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you have the slide-on mounting bracket. That comes pre-installed inside the canopy with a decorative ring on the bottom, and we'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. You'll have 3 reversible blades, the light kit pan with LED module. The module is pre-installed on the light kit pan, and you'll need to remove that before attaching the light kit pan to the fan, but we'll cover this in detail in the video. You have the twist and lock glass shade, the decorative motor collar cover, the ball and downrod assembly, the fan motor, and you'll have the remote and receiver. Now as mentioned, the remote does include a wall cradle for convenient storage when it's not in use, and the receiver has a quick connect wire harness plug to make attaching to the fan quick and easy. The battery is also included for your convenience. You'll have a bit of extension wire if installing this fan with an extension downrod, and you'll have this hardware pack that has the blade attachment screws and the hanger and locking pin, and you'll have another little hardware pack included with the remote that has the wire connecting nuts and the wall anchors and screws for the wall cradle. So we have everything here, just some tools we're going to need. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. We like to have a long one and a short one on hand. We like to have a line voltage tester to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. You'll need some electrical tape, and of course a ladder. So we have everything here. We're ready to begin. Let's do this. The mounting bracket comes pre-assembled inside the canopy with the decorative ring on the bottom. To remove the mounting bracket, first twist the decorative ring off to expose the screws at the bottom of the canopy. Note the alignment post in the base of the canopy. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 screws at the base of the canopy. Once those 2 screws are loosened, lift the mounting bracket up and twist to remove it from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket to make installation easy. The mounting bracket has 2 slots that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. To install the mounting bracket, just align the slots of the mounting bracket with the 2 screws in the outlet box and slide the mounting bracket into place. This is just a demonstration. To install the mounting bracket, first loosen but do not remove the 2 screws in the outlet box. Next, feed the house supply wires through the center hole of the mounting bracket, and then align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and slide it into place. Then, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the 2 screws holding the mounting bracket to the outlet box. Make sure both screws are completely tightened and the mounting bracket is securely fastened. Before attaching the downrod, you'll need to use a Phillips head screwdriver to loosen but not remove the 2 set screws located on the motor collar. Then, place the canopy on the downrod so that the downrod exits the smallest hole of the canopy. Next, place the decorative ring on the downrod. Make sure the black side with the notches is facing towards the canopy. The last piece is the decorative motor collar cover. Slide that onto the downrod, making sure that the largest opening is facing towards the end of the downrod. Then gently feed the wires through the bottom of the downrod so that they exit through the ball portion. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar at the top of the motor. Insert the downrod into the motor collar. Locate the hanger pin in the hardware pack and align the holes at the end of the downrod with the holes in the motor collar. Insert the hanger pin through one hole so that it goes through the downrod and exits the hole on the opposite side of the motor collar. Then take the locking pin and insert that into the hole in the end of the hanger pin until it snaps in place. Once the hanger pin and locking pin have been set, use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten the two set screws on the motor collar. Once those screws are tight, slide the motor collar cover down and rest the canopy ring and canopy on the motor collar cover. Prepare the remote control by sliding the battery compartment cover off of the back of the remote control. Install the included battery according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. If you have another remote control fan in the house, it's a good idea to change the dip switch settings in the remote and the receiver. You'll need to do this prior to wiring. You'll note the dip switches in the remote control. Use a small screwdriver or a pen to set the dip switches in the remote transmitter. There's also a light control switch in the battery compartment of the remote. This switch is labeled O and D. To disable the dimming function of the light kit, set the switch to O. To enable the dimming function, make sure the switch is set to D. If you change the dip switch settings in the handheld remote, you'll need to match those settings in the remote receiver. To do so, pull up the rubber cover to expose the dip switches, and then using a small tool, set the dip switches to match the handheld remote. You can set the dip switches to any combination as long as both the remote and the receiver have the same dip switch settings. Once the dip switches are set, replace the rubber plug on the receiver, and then replace the battery compartment cover onto the remote. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot of the ball and downrod assembly that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging the fan, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab in the mounting bracket. The fan will drop slightly when properly seated. To hang the fan, lift the fan assembly up to the ceiling. Note the location of the slot that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel that tab engage the slot. The fan will drop into place when properly seated. You'll notice that one side of the receiver has the quick connect plug that will connect to the fan wiring. The other side of the receiver has two wires to connect to the house wiring. When installing the receiver, make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling. Insert the receiver into the mounting bracket with the antenna side first, so that the receiver rests on the ball and downrod assembly. Begin wiring the fan by taking the plug from the fan wires and inserting that into the plug from the receiver. The connectors will simply snap together. Next, take the green wire from the ball and downrod assembly and twist that wire together with the green wire from the mounting bracket. Next, connect the green wires to the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Finish the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the white wire from the house supply lines. These are the neutral connections. Twist those two wires together and finish the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Complete the wiring by taking the black wire from the receiver and twisting that wire together with the black wire from the house supply lines. This is the power connection. Secure the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Once all the wiring connections are completed, gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket to make room for the canopy to attach. The canopy attaches to the mounting bracket using the 2 keyhole slots at the base of the canopy that will align with the 2 loosened screws at the base of the mounting bracket. Align the keyhole slots in the canopy with the 2 screws in the mounting bracket, and then slide the canopy up and twist to engage the screws in the keyhole slots. If the screws don't come through the keyhole slots, you may need to loosen them a little bit to allow for extra length to go through the keyhole slots. Once the canopy is set in place, use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten the 2 screws at the base of the mounting bracket. It's okay to tilt the fan assembly to allow for screwdriver access to get to the screws. Make sure both screws are completely tightened before proceeding. The decorative ring attaches to the canopy using 2 slots in the ring that will align with the 2 screws at the base of the canopy. Slide the decorative ring up, aligning the slots with the screws, and then twist to lock it in place. The blades are reversible, so choose the finish that you'd like and make sure that that finish is facing towards the floor. The blades attach to the fan using 3 holes in the blade that will align with 3 holes in the bottom of the fan motor. Insert the end of the fan blade through the slot in the side of the motor. Align the 3 screw holes in the fan blade with the 3 holes in the bottom of the motor. Secure the blade using the blade attachment screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to start the first screw. Do not completely tighten this screw, as you'll need a little bit of play to align the other 2 screw holes. Insert the second screw into the screw hole and start that screw using a Phillips head screwdriver. Remember, do not completely tighten this screw yet. Start the third screw in the third hole of the fan blade. Completely tighten this screw, and then completely tighten the 2 remaining screws. Repeat this process for the 2 remaining blades. Once all of the blades have been installed, go back and make sure that all the screws are completely tightened before proceeding. Before installing the light kit pan, you'll need to remove the LED module. The LED module is pre-installed on the light kit pan using a standard screw and 2 keyhole slotted screws. Begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to remove and save the standard screw, and then loosen but do not remove the 2 screws in the keyhole slots. Once those screws are loosened, twist the LED module and lift it up out of the light kit pan. The light kit pan attaches to the fan using 2 keyhole slots and 1 standard screw hole. These will align with the 3 screws on the black bracket at the base of the motor. Begin by removing and saving one of the 3 screws using a Phillips head screwdriver. Then loosen, but do not remove, the 2 remaining screws in the black bracket. Feed the wires from the fan through the center hole and align the keyhole slots of the light kit pan with those screws in the black bracket, and then push up and twist to hold the light kit pan in place. Then use the screw that was removed and saved and a Phillips head screwdriver and insert the screw into the standard screw hole of the light kit pan. Completely tighten that screw, and then tighten the 2 remaining screws in the keyhole slots. Next, you'll reinstall the LED module using those 2 keyhole slots in the standard screw. Those will align with the 2 screws that are in the light kit pan and the standard screw that was removed earlier. Before attaching the LED module, connect the wires. The easy plug connectors will simply snap together. Connect the white wire to the white wire from the fan and the black wire from the light kit to the blue wire from the fan. Once the wire connections have been made, gently tuck the wires up into the fan and align the keyhole slots of the LED module with the 2 loosened screws in the light kit pan. Press up and twist to engage those screws and hold the LED module in place. Insert the screw that was removed and saved earlier into the standard screw hole of the LED module and use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten that screw, and then completely tighten the other 2 screws. Make sure all 3 screws are completely tightened before proceeding. The light shade uses a twist lock system to connect to the fan. There are 3 flat sides on the light shade that will align with the 3 nubs inside the light kit pan. Align the flat sides of the light shade with the 3 nubs in the light kit pan, then press the light shade up and twist clockwise until tight. This fan features a full function remote control. To turn the fan and light off at the same time, press the power button. The fan speed button will cycle through the fan's 3 speeds. Press once for high speed, twice for medium speed, 3 times for low speed, and another time to turn it off. Press the remote light button to turn the light on. Press it again to turn it off. Press and hold to cycle through the dimming. Release the button once the desired brightness is achieved. This fan features a 3-speed reversible motor. The reverse switch is located on top of the motor housing. Switch left creates a downward airflow to create a cooling effect during the hotter months. Switch right creates an upward airflow to pull warm air from the ceiling and push it down into the room during the cooler months. Make sure the fan is off and not running before changing the switch position. To attach the wall cradle to the wall, begin by removing the screw cover by sliding it out of the wall cradle. Then choose a position on the wall where you'd like to store the remote when not in use. Use the included screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to attach the wall cradle to the wall. Make sure both screws are tight. You may want to use anchors that are also provided when attaching the wall cradle to the wall. Once the screws are tight, reinsert the screw cover into the slots of the wall cradle. Now the wall cradle is ready to hold the remote when not in use. Congratulations, your ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.